welcome, Vinicius. Thank you so much for being here. He's actually in Brazil right now, so about mid-morning there.
Yeah, it's about yes, it is like 11 o'clock here right now.
Mhm. Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time. Um, so I think one of the most special things I like to make sure everybody knows about RSTA is that we are the only program, I would say, in the country at the very least, that offers the kind of academic experience, the unique academic experience at Ross, and the incredible training that I would say standing alone is probably the best, high school training program in the country. So with that said, um, Vinicius, can you talk about the kinds of training opportunities here at Ross? So like maybe our various programs. For example, we have a parent who's curious about students who maybe don't have as much experience. And then remember, I asked you about those middle school students that are coming that, maybe don't want to be at the court 4 hours a day, but want the opportunity to play. What are the different programs we offer at Ross?
Sure. So we have the Tennis Academy that the students they start at 1:30 p.m. and they play for 3 hours every day. So it goes from 1:30 to 4:30. Then they do the fitness training from 4:30 to 5:30. So pretty much by 5:30, like you're done with all your core classes that you take in the morning and your tennis training and your fitness, which that was the goal for years for us to be able for the school to put the core classes before lunchtime, which is great now. I think we got finally the perfect schedule. Right now, in our tennis academy program, that's one program that we have, and that's for kids that, of course, that are competing, that are playing tournaments, that are passionate about tennis. It's not so much the high level of players. Of course, we have our best players there, but it's for the students that really tennis comes as a priority. I would say that you wanna just either sleep, breathe tennis, idea of playing tournaments, that you're just really focused on tennis. And there's this new program that we started that's called the Yellow Ball Plus. So this program, it happens from 2:30 to 4:30, so it's only for 2 hours, and that was designed for the students and tennis players that want to take advantage of the academic classes at Ross, because Ross offer a lot of like elective classes, and then some courses that the students they wanted to take. So you have 2 more periods that you can take more classes. um, but I have some players that are more academic than tennis too, and but they're as good as some players that are part of the tennis academy, but they're more focused on the academic side. So they decide to take this new program that happens from 2:30 to 4:30 to be able to take more classes. So these are our two programs that I would say for the boarding students, they're more appealing to come. Another advantage, yeah, I would say that that's the difference. Like I'll just say that. I mean, I can go on and on about some details, but I think those are the two main difference. Right now in our tennis academy, we have about 10 to 12 players, and now yellow ball actually we have about 16 players. 14 to 16 players. We can take in most only take up to 24 players. um, and the difference is that we don't want to take a lot of players. Difference between the academies that you find, in Florida, California, this big tennis academy is that just as we said before, it's a school that the students come to have a good academic part and to have a great tennis, and also it's more personalized. The coaches will know you. They, like every student gets to have one coach that gives more attention. Of course, that you're going to work with all the coaches, all the players, but there is one coach that's assigned for you that will work with like on your forehand, backhand, serve technique, that will do like your tournament schedule, that would talk to you if you, because as you know, just as a tennis players is it's a very mental game, right? Now, like there's the up and downs, and I feel that's very important that you have a coach like that just knows you well, that can talk to you. um, these players of the Yellow Ball Plus and the Tennis Academy, they do train together. They do a little bit of like the match play. They don't train together because of the times, but of course they'll play matches against each other. They might travel to tournaments together, and it's been doing well. Even a few players from the Tennis Academy, they moved to this Yellow Ball Plus because they are about to graduate and they feel like the academic part is going to be more important for them to get into college, and they are not going to miss the tennis as much.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Am I being clear on the two differences? Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to clarify by saying that the Tennis Academy students are getting all of their core classes. What the yellow ball students, I think, are looking for to be able to take maybe additional electives. So it gives them a little more time in the afternoon and more flexibility with their schedule to take more classes outside of tennis, right?
And that's they have the Americans, they have let's call it the uh, uh, let's call this class that you can take before you go to just before you go to college. For the international students, sometimes they don't option to take, so there's more variety of courses
Mhm,
that you can take too.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Cool.
Okay.
And what about outside of yellow ball for, well, RSTA and yellow ball started fifth grade, grade five,
Yes.
so around 10, 11 years old. But what are some programs that we offer for younger students, but also students who maybe don't want to train every day? What are some other opportunities to play tennis?
So we have some private lessons. They welcome to book anytime you want,
Mhm,
and that's from Monday to Friday after school. There is also like the weekends that you can come to tennis facility. You can book any just the lessons. And if you don't do these programs that happens every day, there's an option to do. There's a tennis training class that happens not now because of COVID, but like hopefully to get back there like in schedule. But that was 1 period per day, so I could go and just take tennis. It's for 45 minutes.
mhm,
Or there is a program on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school for an hour and a half each day that you can play tennis too. So that's for you know just players from fifth grade all the way to the senior year. They all come and they take a lot of just students to the option to take the private lessons. That becomes like much more popular too, because it's more flexible. You can book in the weekends.
mhm.
So those are the options to play tennis. So there's not only a tennis academy, but it's a tennis center too that we call, that's open for all level of players.
Great. Um, can you talk a little bit about the tennis center, the facilities?
Yes. So the tennis center, we have 6 indoor courts. There is a bubble that cover the courts during 6 months of the year. We have two hard courts too that we open in spring and fall and summer. So we have a total of now like 8 courts. We're looking to put two turf courts for the summer, which will make 10 courts. The tennis facilities become before COVID, and then we are hoping to get back to that. It's a place that even kids that don't play tennis, they all go to the tennis center after school. It's a place that they go hang out, that they go do like a homework, or they go to meet the friends. um, Tennis is the most popular sport at Ross right now, and all coaches outside of facilities, it's focused again not only on the competitive players, but the players that want to play the social tennis, they want to have fun. They can do the homework there. They can go there during the weekends. There's a lounge area in the like the lower floor. There is a big screen TV. So it's just another building at the school that are very used by the students.
Mhm. It is it's a beautiful building too. Yeah, I like going there myself. It's a nice break from the main part of campus.
Yeah.
Um, can you talk about some of the tournaments that you take students to? And I assume it's highly individualized, but some of the tournament opportunities.
Yes and no. We also host a lot of tournaments. So we're pretty much hosting one tournament every weekend, I'll say now.
Wow.
that's the UTR that you guys that play tennis know, and then like and then now like the USTA too. So we host like to get the opportunity for our players to play at home and to bring other players to compete against our players. Of course, that we can't just play at home because there's different levels, different age groups. So we try to combine. Let's suppose that here we play the boys 16s. So we have four, five, six boys. So we get a group, we get a coach, and we have a car from the school, and then we go to tournament. I'll say that pretty much every weekend there's a coach or two that take the kids to tournaments, which is fun too because they go as a group. Because it's the winter, the tournaments here are divided by age group. So a lot of players, when it's warm in the summer, they do all the age groups together. In the winter, they do just one age group. So we have to go boys 16s goes here, the girls 12s goes there. But we do the calendar for all the tennis academy players every trimester
Wow.
to play tournaments. Yeah, which
It
is
sounds
fun.
like they stay pretty busy.
Yes, very 7 days a week.
I meant to ask about the tennis team, the varsity and junior varsity teams. Is that who is able to play on those teams, and what does that look like?
So the tennis team, as of right now, um, players that are part of the tennis academy are not able to play on the tennis team. But there is enough competition, there's enough tournaments for them to compete. Anyone that's outside of the tennis academy, someone that take, like the Yellow Ball Plus program, that's considered like the after school program because it happens a little later. Private lessons, the Tuesday and Thursday program, they all able to play in the tennis team. The girls tennis season happens during the fall, and the boys happens during the spring. That happened because the first 5 years we did very well in the league, and then I can say the public because I tell you, I told the newspapers, everyone, and they found that like there wasn't fair competition for
Mhm.
our tennis academy to be part of the league. So, and there's some other things, but so now we have, again, I'll say like the tennis team, it's a place, it's fun to play, but there's the USTA, the UTR tournaments. So I would say that like there's plenty of competition, whatever you decide to be and go. um yeah, so that's how it's playing now.
Yeah, we essentially were like creaming everyone, right?
Yeah.
Because they were training so hard. So
Yeah, we're doing, yeah,
we're like,
and
look, we can't, it's
yeah,
unfair.
and because we're the only private school compete against the public schools, and before the tennis center was open, it was about 10 years ago. Tennis wasn't such a strong sport because they didn't have like other tennis courts, and yes, and then I was the coach, and we won for 5 years in a row, and then they found a way to take out tennis players or best tennis players out of the league. So yes, that's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your coaching staff?
Yes, it's very international. I'm sure that, like everyone's international, that's here right now, but but we're looking for American coach, but we haven't have lucky, but we have coach from Italy that play college tennis. They all play college tennis, by the way. They all play on a high level of college tennis for the top schools in the country. There's a woman now that just joined us, like a female coach that she played professional for a little bit too. Actually, she's born here, like she's America, but her parents are from Poland.
Yeah.
So we have an Italian coach, we have a coach from Spain, coach from Brazil. We have this woman that's half Polish,
Mhm.
myself, and another Brazilian. So we have six coaches, six
Mhm.
courts. They have been there for a while. The only new coach is the female coach that just joined the team. I would say that the other coaches, they have been there for at least 3 years. Oh, and there's a coach from Portugal too. I'm sorry, we have seven coaches. So I would say that five coaches have been there for over 3 years now. And the coach from Portugal has been a year, and this new female coach just joined us this June, which has been amazing to have like a female coach. I'm so happy to have a female coach, which is very hard to find, but she's great, and she's an amazing player, and she's very charismatic, so she fits right in. Um, I make sure to that we all follow a method of teaching. So even though they come from different countries, from the different backgrounds, we all teach exactly the same, and just understanding that people, have different needs, and we try to modify the needs of everyone. But they all trained by me, and then they all follow a system of teaching that has been working very well. I've been very happy with all the results lately in
Mhm.
tournaments. Yeah.
Is it a particular methodology, or is it something that you've developed, or?
It's Larry Passos, which is a coach that has been working with us. I can talk about him a little bit. And there is another coach, Jim Grab, that was a former number one player in the world that helped us a lot too. But Larry Passos is more active now. Larry Passos is a coach of a former number one tennis player in Brazil. I'm sorry, like in the world,
Mhm.
that won the French Open 3 times, and then that's just one player. I mean, he has developed like top number one juniors and players, top professionals, top 20 in the world. He's a lot of experience, and his daughter actually goes to Ross, and she goes to a tennis academy, and that's a good example. She's very good, like at school academically. She's in 11th grade, and she decided to go the Yellow Plus
Mhm.
program like ball, because she's amazing student, and just her grades are so good that she's trying to get into school using her grades instead of using her tennis. Some players are going to use the tennis, like before it's just before the grades. But Larry Pass is someone that he comes to see us 1 week per month, and it's been over a year now, a year and a half, 2 years that he's with us, and it's been amazing to have him there. I can't say like enough, to have his method of teaching, and mental, technical, physical. It's just someone that we are learning every day. Like, even I've been teaching for over 20 years. I think to have him as part of the team, like, we're very lucky to have him there.
Mhm.
So I kind of combined his top experience, Gene Grab, that worked with us for over 3 years, and we do have I would say our own, like our own raw system now. I can say that that we have. And then, so if you teach kids at 3 years old all the way to 17, all the coaches that work there, they like they do a set of drills, like the way they take, like just the form, like the technique, the movement on the court, everything is something that they learn there. And we meet every week, the coaches, to go over things. So it's constant to like involving. I wouldn't say that's done, because tennis has been changing a lot. It changes every week and there's always something new, and then we can. So I would say that we keep like updating and we keep learning. But the results, I would say, in the last 2 3 years, like our players, like we can see, they're getting better, and they're doing better in tournaments. And that's Coach Lara says, like, when you see a forehand from far away, we can say there's a forehand for a player, like that's just like from the raw school, because they have a good and clean technique,
Mhm.
which that makes me very proud to
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah. I have to say I don't know a lot about tennis, but I had the opportunity to go with Larry and Vinicius to Brazil last year and watch Larry coach. And it is, even if you don't know much about tennis, it's an incredibly inspiring thing to watch. You can always tell when someone's a magnetic coach, and he's one of those people that just like is electric. And anyway, we're really happy to have him, and Bettina, his daughter, who is one of my. I'm a house parent, and she's one of my students in my house, and she is exceptional. So, I was going to ask, what are some other opportunities that the RSTA students or the Tennis Academy students have been able to go on? More specifically, I know they went to Brazil as part of Field Academy last year. What are some other opportunities that might come up?
Yeah. So for the more skilled players, for the one that are doing better in the local tournaments, I'm sorry, there is plenty of competition, like in the Northeast,
Mhm.
that we call the Eastern Section. Eastern Section is one of the strongest in the country. Is the Eastern Section, South Florida, Southern California, and Texas. Those are the 4 areas in the country that you find the best players competing. There is enough tournaments. But we traveling for the ITF tournament, which is like the international tennis tournaments, for the ones that are doing very well nationally, we start to take a few players to go play these tournaments. So, and that can happen, any time of the year. And then I don't know if you guys play already, but it depends on the level that you are. We send a coach, we send a couple of players, and then we go to tournaments too. There's also this year, it's not happening, but if it was a normal year, like a regular year, in December, they play the Orange Bowl, they play the Eddie Hearn, they play the Livermore. There's this tournament that happens in Florida every month of December. So we do take a group there. We pretty much spend 3 weeks there at least. All the international, the top level tournaments like the world, just playing the world, they go there for, like just for the time of the year. The school is very, like the teachers are very open for that. Like they will give us the homework and they will give the quiz test. So we go for the tournaments, but there is some study hall time because there is plenty of time, like when you go to these tournaments, to study, to do. But it's a very fun. We did a trip for the last couple of years, and that was amazing. Just to take the group and to go there and to see all the international players, American players playing, competing. That's an amazing experience too. So there's always opportunity, just depending of the level of the players, like where you are.
Mhm.
If there is a need to travel, like we go, we're always going.
Great. Cool. Um, what are some colleges? Do you have any particular players that you're proud of or things that they've accomplished since they've graduated? Or
Yeah. Um, yeah, the tennis facility has been open for 10 years, 11 years right now. So we're kind of new. The tennis academy, I believe, is the sixth or seventh year.
Mhm.
Um, so we have a lot of players that come for a year, then leave. There are players that now that we develop, that's so nice. They were young and then they're like in ninth, 10th grade. So we know they're gonna go to good schools, and they have been here with us for the last 10 years, which has been amazing. Like those are the home products that we call. They're developed here. But we have last year we had a kid that went to Bates, which is a school in the Northeast. That's Avi Friedman,
Mhm.
and that we have. There's one kid from Germany now that he's applying for many, many schools. He's doing the process now. He's the only senior that we have this year, that's applying. We have one that went to Vassar. I mean, we can provide a list. We have a list of colleges that we can provide, but we haven't had like in 6 7 years. I would say we have about 10 graduates, students. So we have a lot 10th 11th grades that are going to graduate, so that's going to be a lot of players. They're applying for college, and the process is a lot of fun because our coaches, they all went to schools and they all went to the American college,
Mhm.
and we made connections. So like we can call them and then just talk to the coaches. That
Mhm.
helps a lot, because we know the divisions, we know the conference that they can go and play. So it's nice to have these connections, with the coaches and colleges. Yeah.
Definitely. And that in combination with the comprehensive college counseling program here. So you have not only on the academic side, someone advocating for you and helping you through that process, but then you have your coaches as well, which is great.
Yeah.
I also want to say that Allie won the ESPN Billie Jean King Award last year too, as a senior, for her work not only as an exceptional tennis player, but she also started a nonprofit organization that trained younger students. There was a younger
Yeah,
student training program.
yeah, did her senior project, which is another thing. They have this school. So she did this program, I believe it was twice a week,
Mhm.
um, with the local girls, and just to empower girl power.
Mhm.
And she offered for kids that couldn't afford it, and that was a free program. And that was really nice because the Tenza Federation, they support a lot, everyone support, and then went to the be with, like I went to like I went live on TV, and then she got and that was someone. Ali has been with us. That's someone that came from rock. Like she started out Tenza Academy in seventh grade.
Mhm.
That time, like we started seventh, and she did from seventh to 12, and then she got the school that she wanted, and then she did this project, which was amazing. So I would say the Ross, the thing that I love about Ross is that there's so many opportunities. Everything that you want to do, it's there. If it's academic, if it's tennis, like you just meet so many people. There's so many connections that you can make it here too, in terms of college and even for future jobs. I would say I have people that went to Ross, that made friends here, and now like now they graduate from Ross, and they are just talking to each other, and they're finding jobs, and then so it's been great. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been yeah.
And then last question, Vinicius, is what do you think ultimately differentiates our tennis training program from other boarding schools that offer something similar around the country or world?
Yes. First, I don't think there's any boarding school that offers what we offer.
Mm,
I'll explain the difference. A lot of the boarding schools, they offer a tennis team. Like you can go and play for the tennis team, and then you can play for the season, and then you can take lessons during the year. But that's just players that go there. They're usually good already, and they don't become any better. They just play for the team. That so the boarding schools, I think we are the only one that offer a strong tennis program.
mhm,
There's, I mean, there's some boarding schools maybe offer the after school program, but like you go to school all day and then you play tennis for an hour or two. But there's nothing like us. I would say that we can compare ourselves with a little bit with some tennis academies that
mhm,
have out there that in terms of tennis, but then like all these tennis academies, they can be probably good at tennis, but then they don't have the academics. So it's just hard to compare because they might have a good tennis program, but they school it's I don't know. I could never send my kids there. It's just depends it just depends where so I feel that we are very different and we're very like exclusive and then very unique like in that way. And that's why we're having so many people, calling us, want to come here and people come. I always say too that come and visit, like if you can, because anyone that can come and see, like with Coach Larry Passos when he comes here, that's someone that travel all over the world professionally, junior, and then like the first day he came here is like, oh my god, this is it. This is like a paradise for tennis players, for school to play. So I always suggest anyone that's thinking about Ross that come and visit Ross. We have players that go to all the tennis academy boarding schools, and then they come to Ross. There's no, like there's very hard not to see the difference, over there. So I'm sorry, I don't know if I answered the question, but
You did, yeah, great.
uh,
And then I'll just, if our guests have any questions for him or about the program or about Ross, I'll open it up to you. And it's okay if you don't, but I would like to give you the opportunity while we're here.
I think my only question is if the tournaments are going on right now. So am I able to play tournaments when I'm there?
yes, the tournaments. I'm so lucky that like I would say that we are so lucky that tournaments are happening right now. There are some restrictions because of in the summer there was only one spectator per player. So for example, like if you're a parent or the coach, you could only like one person watch. A lot of tennis facilities, because they're bubble and the courts are just indoors, as in Germany right now. Some clubs are not letting the coach watch or not, like not letting the parent watch to not have so many people in the club. But the tournaments are happening, and it's amazing. It's being busier than ever. They're limiting the draws because I don't know, I guess people more focus on tennis because it's school online, and there are more people playing tennis tournaments than ever out here. It's been amazing to see. So the tournaments are full on, like the USTA, which is the Tennis American Federation. They are working very hard, to keep like, so for example, like when you play at tournaments, like you don't share tennis balls, like you have your own can of tennis balls, the other player has their own cans of tennis balls. There's no scores, not touch anything. But they did a research that the bubble that cover all these courts, it changed the air every 3 hours, which I didn't know that. It's amazing to know, I could, so all the indoor facilities are open, they are functioning. Of course, you gotta wear the mask until you go on the court, and then like when you go on the court, you can take it off. But yes, we drive everyone. We just, I would say that the unfortunate thing is that for now, the coach cannot watch the match. Some clubs, which is very nice, they have a camera on the court and we can stream the match from a car. So if you bring like iPad, a phone, we can actually watch you playing with your phones. I just took my son to play a tournament. He's 11, and I was like, oh my god, I got a facility, I can't even watch. And then I get there, like we could watch from the phone. Our facility, we let one coach, one spectator because we have more room. It's easier for that, but some facilities that don't. So yes, like we are having, like we are playing tournaments. Like we'll definitely take to tournaments. Absolutely, yes.
Mhm.
Mm, okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one thing they'll say is that it's a hard time, and then I know that it's hard to visit, but if you can visit, I'll be happy to talk to anyone. If you have any questions, you can call me, FaceTime. If you have any other questions that you have, one thing, and not trying to sell anything, but we are pretty booked now. We are very like Tennis Academy and also the Yellow Ball Plus now. It's we have 24 players which are maxed out. Um, we were very busy before, but we are busier now because a lot of people from New York City, like also like from Manhattan, because the COVID-19 is not doing well there, they moved to us now, like close like to East Hampton. That's where the school is. And a lot of the after school programs, we have like a waiting list, and our tennis academy, I feel, I mean, now we are full. I have to turn down people from programs, but we do have room. Like, like Andrea is always talking to me, like we're looking for nice students. I'm not so even, I won't pick a better, stronger player than the other, because what we look for, and then I'd like to talk to everyone, someone that's interested, that has the passion for tennis, that wants to get better. So if I have a good player here that's not interested, that's lazy, or doesn't or doesn't have and then I have a good one here that's very into, that's trying to learn, I'll pick this one. I'll pick that one for sure. So from now on, we are doing interviews, and then we are doing like just all these tryouts. But again, of course, they need to have a base level to be part of. But I'm more interested if you come in like willing to learn. If you're willing to learn, have a great attitude, that we can make a tennis player. But if you don't want it, that's harder. Yeah.
Mhm.